What's up, you guys? I am Nia. Welcome back to my channel. I hope all is well with y'all today. Today, y'all, I just want to talk to y'all about having faith and holding on to the promise and passing the test and just really, really riding for God. Really riding with Him when things look like everything is crumbling in your life, and when every prayer isn't getting answered right away, or when you feel like He's not hearing your prayers and your supplications, and you just think that He's ignoring you, and you think He's forsaking you, and you think He didn't left you and all of that. And I just want you to know that He has never left nor forsaken you. He hears you. He'll be quiet and he'll move in silence, and he'll take his time to make things happen. And oftentimes too, a lot of the things that we praying for, like I've said before, a lot of times the things that we praying for, it takes time for Him to get things and people in position to deliver your promise to you, to deliver your package, to deliver it to you. It's things that has to go on. But if you are going through a Job season, because this is what really made me want to do the videos, because I was in my feelings today and yesterday just about my circumstances. It's like, I feel like I've given up so much to go on this journey by letting God lead my life. And I'll just be like, well, dang, when is the suffering going to end? I know a lot of y'all thinking like, when is the suffering going to end? So He led me to read the book of Job because, of course, I was venting and I be crying and I be getting mad and I be just, be in my feelings too. Just, I'm human. This is what we do. I'm not no different than you. You ain't no different than me. As long as we in this human body, baby, we all got some feelings. We might try to suppress them. We might try to ignore them. We might let the anger override everything. But nonetheless, you're angry, you're sad, you're depressed, you're anxious. All of those feelings come from feelings. It come from something that you're feeling in the inside. So, I just wanted to let y'all know to pass the test, because oftentimes God is testing you to test your faith in Him, to test your loyalty, to test to see how long you willing to stay down and ride or die for Him, like you willing to ride or die for them friends, lovers, and family members. He's testing you. And, as I'm reading the book of Job, we're going to actually do a Bible study in the next video after this. So after I finish recording this, I'm going to do the Bible study video for it. Because we need to really just like read in depth. I don't know if y'all know about Job, and if you do, great, but you might need a refresher on it. And I want us to read and see Job's feelings and everything too, because he was a righteous man. He had integrity and he had it all. He had all the oxen, all the camels, all the wealth. Like he had all the sheep, thousands and thousands of sheep, oxen, all of that. He had it all. He was a wealthy man. He was a righteous man. He had his family, and he lost everything at one time, back to back to back. And we too go through that in our lives where we like, what is going on? Like, I'm losing everything back to back to back. I lost my job, losing my house, losing my car, losing my partner, my spouse, losing my friends, losing my family, losing my everything. Get sick like Job did. He got the boil. So we're gonna discuss all of that in the Bible study video. But it's really humbling. And if you're going through a season of where you feel like you're losing a lot, you definitely should go read the book of Job. You need to go read the book of Job, because it's going to help. It's going to humble you in a sense of, it's going to give you understanding. And, even though you mad at God and you might be upset because of you losing everything, and sometimes we feel like because we're favored and because we're blessed and because we're the chosen ones, and because, we might go to church every Sunday, and because we obedient, because we sacrifice things, and because we pray all the time, and because we think that we're not supposed to have suffering, and we think that we're not supposed to go through things, and that we're supposed to just get blessing on blessing on blessing. And then sometimes we look around us and we see other people, especially with, social media being a big part of our lives. We see, people out here are flexing and flossing all the time. And it's like, they ain't never taking no L's. It's like they just winning back to back to back. They celebrating every time you turn around. They doing this and doing that. Meanwhile, you losing. Meanwhile, you've been at a standstill for years, months, days, whatever it is. And you look around, you see everybody else winning. And you're like, dang, what is it that I'm not doing that they're doing? And how can I get more like them? Because it seems like they really winning. And when you looking at the outside, you gotta you got to take things with a grain of salt, because everything that glitters ain't gold. And everything that you see going on, you don't know what people doing to get it. You don't know what God they serving to get those things. You don't know how they really feeling on the soul level. You don't know what they really losing out on either. So you can't be wishing that you're somebody else, and you can't let them flossing and being, they're bragging and all that. You can't let that make you feel less than, because it's a season that you're going through. Everything is about a season. Nothing lasts forever. This too shall pass. And just through reading the book of Job, it made me feel better, because I was not feeling it today. I was just in my feelings, because I be like, dang, I gave up everything. Like, I really be in my feelings about this sometimes. Like, I really gave up everything because you said go, because you told me get away, like, because you told me to leave. You told me to leave. I gave up everything that I know and love, and gave it all up. I lost everything. And not only did I give things up, I got to Texas and then lost everything again. It's like I lost 2 cars in 1 year, sold my first one, and then the second one got repossessed. And it's like, just off of following God. So sometimes I'll be like, dang, what is it that I'm not doing? I show up like you tell me to. I stay in my word. I pray all the time. I be fasting, stuff that I have never done before, and I still be feeling like, dang, what is it about me? And then when I'll see other like videos out here, about people fasting and stuff, it's like people fast for things. And when I see some of their videos and they see what they have gotten after fast, I'm like, why don't that ever happen for me? Like, why when I fast, I don't really I don't get those things. Like, I don't get those things. I be fasting too, and have yet to get the stuff that I want just off of fasting alone. So it's like, sometimes it make me feel like, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? But I understand that God just tested me. He's seeing how much suffering am I willing to go through? How long am I willing to ride? Like, He's testing me, and I just want you to know that He's testing you too. Why is it like, why are they doing stuff with the grass? That irritates me. Like, dang, it's always some noise around here. That's another thing. I'm like, I just want to be somewhere else where there's not a bunch of traffic going around, all of that. I just be irritated sometimes. And this the main reason why I just be wanting to move somewhere else. And it's not that I'm not grateful for where He has placed me and everything, but I'm ready for the real promise. Like, this, I'm ready for the real. Like, I understand this is like he has me placed here, and He keep sending me on these missions and stuff. I'm just ready to rest easy. I'm tired of surviving. I'm tired of just getting by. Like, I appreciate your provision. I appreciate you. He's provided. God is going to provide. He's going to do all of that. But I just be like, when am I really going to be able to see the real fruit of my labor? When am I going to really be able to see the true miracles? Like, I hear people's stories and I be like, dang, that's really a miracle. I'm not gonna say that I ain't had no miracles, because me being in this house alone, that's ain't nothing but God, because there's no way I should have qualified to be here. So it ain't nothing but God. So that is a miracle, and that is a blessing. And just off of the spiritual gifts alone that He's given me, that's a blessing in itself. But of course, I'm human, and I still want my other stuff. Like, I still, I'm not gonna go into depth about everything, but I just want longevity, and I want stability, true stability. And I don't feel truly stable in my life right now. But I just wanted to encourage you guys to stay down and continue riding for God, even when you losing everything, even when it feel like stuff is just moving at turtle speed for you, and everybody else is getting, their accomplishments, and they doing this and they doing that, and everybody seems like they climbing, and it might seem like you at a standstill, and it may seem like you losing stuff. And I want you to just keep your faith, pass the test, because God is testing you like He did Job. He told Satan to test this man. Satan was like, he only Like, he only righteous and upright because you have blessed him. You have a hedge of protection around him. Like, you didn't bless him with everything. He's rich. He's wealthy. He's thriving and everything. So that's the only reason that he is rocking with you like that. That's the only reason that he is this upright man, because you have given him nothing. I assure you, if you take all those things, he gonna curse you to your face. God was like, what? No, he's not. My Job? No, he's not. So let's put him to the test. So he said, all right, go ahead, Satan, do your big one on him. Do your big one. Took all his wealth, let his family die, his sons and daughters died, whatever. He got the boils on him. All of that happened, and he still stayed down. His wife even was like, dang, after you got the boils, you still gonna stay down? You still got all this integrity? Like, what are you doing? He like, man, you're like, lady, be quiet. Like, please don't speak this foolish stuff. Because the wife was like, curse him. I mean, curse God. Like, she's like, curse God, because look at what's going on with you. Like, this innocent man's doing all this suffering. We won't really get into it in the Bible study video. That's gonna come up after this. But Job stood 10 toes down. He did get upset, and he eventually too was like, man, I just want to, I hate my life. I just want to unalive myself. Why am I even existing? Like, we be feeling, and this is why I say read the book of Job, because it is so real, because these are the feelings that you really go through when you in these seasons of lack, and when you lose and stuff. You like, dang, I just hate my life. I just want to unalive myself. Why am I even here? Life is so hard. Why do I have to have continuous suffering? All those emotions, Job also had those emotions too. But he still stayed down. He still believed in the process. And God ended up blessing him double fold after the fact. Like, he had to go through his season, and he went through it. He got mad. He had his frustrations, we gotta do the Bible study, because it was the part was like, it's futile to argue with God. Like, we be mad at God, and you think you gonna you can't beat God. He's the Alpha, the Omega, the beginning and the first and the last. It don't matter if you mad or upset. You're not gonna win the argument. You're not gonna win the fight. You're not gonna win the battle. And you're not gonna win the war. So it's no point in going against him when you just need to, like, you gotta be a yes man. You really do gotta be a yes man for God, because he is top dog. He is the highest power. He is the most strengthened. You're not stronger than him. The animals, the wild beasts out here are not stronger than him. He puts the strength in everything that has strength out here, and everyone that has strength out here. So you can't beat him. So you can't beat him, join him. And he'll test you. He wants to see, like, are you really loyal? Because God has feelings too. God has feelings, and a lot of people look at God like a genie, but he has feelings. He want to know that you love him, whether you're doing good or doing bad, that you need him, whether you're doing good or doing bad, that you still want his love and everything that he has to offer you, where you still talk to him as much, where you still pray to him as much, because we already know when we start doing good in life, we be like, all right, God, see you later. See you next year. See you when stuff hit the fan again. Right now, I'm balling. I'm getting this money. I got my new man. I got my new lady. I got these blessings that you done blessed me with. All right, deuces, sir. See you next time. And God doesn't want that, because he has feelings too. Nobody wants to be used. God has feelings. He has feelings. And he wants to make sure that you really, like we do. We all understand that we're supposed to be of benefit to one another. But you don't want people around us only to benefit off of you, and they're not getting nothing out the deal either. And that's how God feels. It's like he wants to bless you. He wants to do right by you. He wants to give you the things you asking for. But are you willing to still give him the things he's asking for? Are you willing to turn away from your wicked ways? Are you willing to listen and obey him when he's asking you to? Are you willing to do all the things that requires to have a relationship that has equal reciprocity? Are you willing to do that with him too? So that's why he will test you. He will see. He will see. I know for me, in the beginning of this thing, because that was the main thing for me. Like, my whole goal, and that's another reason why I be so mad. I be like, I sacrificed my whole 20s to elevate. I've done so many different things. After having my first daughter at around like 23, when I turned 23, because that was, when I had my daughter, I had her at 22, and then I was turning 23 right after I had her. Like a month after I had her, I turned 23. And, me having a daughter, it really just started to change my mind. And I'm like, look, like, I have to do things different. I have this little girl. I don't want her doing all the struggling I have to struggle too. I don't want her going through none of that. And, I'm tired of living paycheck to paycheck and not being able to have money to fix my car and all of that. Like, I ain't got to wait till next payday. I was so tired of that. So I sacrificed a lot. I was wearing my one wig. I wasn't getting my nails done that much. And all of this stuff that I had sacrificed and started going to seminars, started saving my money, got another job, started doing all these hustles, did so much, left that in relationship. Like, I did so much. Even when I had moved back to my mom's house, I just like to myself, I ain't had no friends. I was just focused. I was in there, in that room, in the basement in my mom's house, doing credit repair, all of this stuff, just doing my, getting my life in order. Like, I wasn't focused on dating. I wasn't focused on none of that until I started getting my stuff together. That's when I, started dating again. Because for me personally, when I messed up, I can't focus on all that. I gotta get me back right. Like, I gotta get me back together. And so I be feeling like I did so much. And then I end up getting myself out of all of that. Like, I fixed my credit, got back up to like a 700 something credit score. Life was good, money was good, like everything was good. Like, everything was good. 2019, I moved out my mama's house. I only stayed there for like a year. And I moved back there July 2018 and moved out October, the beginning of November of 2019. And life was good. Everything was good up until I had to move to Texas. My, stuff had started dwindling then, but I still was maintaining. But life was good. And then everything, I just feel like I got to Texas. I still be saying, I'd be like, sometimes I just wish I never moved to Texas. Like, I appreciate I know my purpose now. I do appreciate that, but I be feeling like, it takes time to really profit off a purpose. Like, I ain't making no money and stuff like that. Like, stuff is just really, it's not what I need and what I want. And I just feel like I done worked so hard for me not to be where I really want to be, And I feel like I'm also going through a midlife crisis because I'm 30 and I'm not where I want to be, and I done sacrificed so much. And I feel like I'm starting all over. Like, all the work I put in during my 20s, I feel like it was futile. It was it's doing nothing for me now. Everything. And I just, been looking on my old stuff, and I'm just like, I was doing all of this and all of that. Like, and just to be here now, it be making me mad sometimes. But I also do appreciate where I am now because my relationship with God is much closer. I do have much more wisdom and understanding. I now am in my purpose. So it's like, I do appreciate that because I do have meaning now. I'm not just doing anything to make money and doing different things to make money and trying to figure out which one is going to excel me and make the money off of that, just doing stuff to profit. But it still just be like, I got goals I have. It's things I want to do with my life. And I feel like I'm just moving at turtle speed, and I just be feeling like, hello, God, like, dang, what is it that I have to do? I literally be asking him this. I'm like, what is it that I'm not doing? Like, I feel like I'm not doing enough, and all of this that I be feeling. And that we all, will feel when we going through these things in life. And this is why I just want y'all to know, no matter what you're going through, no matter what you're feeling, none of that, just stay the course. Keep your faith. Number one, keep faith in God. Remember that he ain't left you. He's testing you to see, are you going to stay down with him? Because like I was saying, that was a big thing for me. I wanted riches, I wanted riches. I did. And I still do want success. It has different meaning for me now. I mean, it been had different meaning for me because it was always about creating stability for me and my children. That's all it's been about. It's about longevity. But it was just the ways I was doing it. My understanding is much different now, and I've learned a lot more now. But God wanted me to really value having a relationship with him for what he can do, not for what the money that he can provide me can do for me. It's like, are you after me for my money or for my blessings? Are you after me for the blessings, or are you after me because you really value what it's like to have a relationship with me? And I do, because even when, like today, with this whole thing that I'm going through and being in my feelings and stuff, I understand. I see that he hears me. Like, this is having a real relationship. Like, it's not just, oh, just everything all good and I just, act like everything all good. No, it's the good, the bad, the ugly. Am I gonna curse him? No, I'm not gonna curse him, but I do get mad and I do express my feelings to him. I humble myself and express my feelings, and then he lets me know what's up with it. Like, that's why he will lead me to his word. And then every time I get mad, he always lead me to his word, and then I'll be like, all right. My feelings still be hurt, of course, because it's like, I want what I want. I'm like, come on now. But it gave me understanding, and I humble myself, and then just get back focused on what he told me to do and stop worrying about that other stuff, because whatever he promised, it's going to come. Just hold on, be patient, and do what I told you to do. Understand and learn the lessons that I need you to learn in this season. Do the things I'm telling you to do. Like, be obedient, continue to be obedient no matter what it's looking like. Just continue having that faith in me. And a lot of times he will do this stuff to test your faith, to increase your faith. Don't lose your faith in this season. Stay down. Remember what he told you. Remember what the promise was. Remember, don't lose faith because of what your current circumstance look like. You know what he's done for you before. You've been in situations before where you have went without, where you have lost things. And he surely did provide during that wilderness, during that season of lack. He provided. You and your kids still had. You ain't dead out here. So obviously, you ain't unalived out here. So obviously, he didn't came through for you. You and your kids ain't withered away and turned back into ashes yet. So surely he has provided you with something. Food, shelter, a way to get around. He's provided you with those things. So surely if he did it once, he will do it again. And it will get magnified every time if you hold on to the faith and be obedient and don't turn back into doing things that you know he told you not to do. That'd be another thing for me. I'd be like, bruh, I really... I could have still had my truck and everything if I would have went back to doing my other hustles, other things I used to do to make money, but I stayed down. And that's why sometimes I get mad. I be like, bro, I stayed down. Like, I'm still staying down. I didn't go back. I could really be doing a bunch of other things to make money and say, forget all of this stuff. I really don't like being on the camera. I really don't like doing all of this stuff. I don't even want to do this. I just want to go back to doing what I was doing, making my money that way, being behind the scenes, and making my money and still provide for me and my children. But I'm like, that's not what God wants me to do. So it's like, because of my loyalty, because I really am very loyal, I was like, I have to stay down, do what he told me. I'm really loyal. And it's like, God want to see, are you really loyal to me? When your back is up against the wall, when all the odds are against you, when everybody is against you, are you still going to stay down for me? Are you still going to choose me over them? I be feeling like that too. I be like, just my whole journey with moving away from Maryland, everything I went through to get to Texas, everything I've been through while I have been in Texas. I'm like, dang, it's like it's all going unnoticed. Are you not noticing everything that I gave up for you? Everybody who spoke ill against me for going on this spiritual journey and for believing in God and for just following God and coming out here with no plan, like just life shifting for me in 2 weeks. And they looking at me like, what are you doing? All the backlash I faced and all the havoc, everything I went through just to get here. I almost got in accidents. Like, when I tell you, that's when I didn't understand. I didn't know about spiritual warfare then, but I was really facing it heavy. I was like, what is going on? I almost got in 2 accidents in 2 weeks span of time, from February 9th to February 28th. Because I left February 28th. That's when the flight took off. From February 9th to February 28th, so much happened in that small amount of time. February 9th is when I got into the situation with my baby dad, and he said, go. Started packing, everything. Didn't know what I was doing, where I was going, and I just moved off of faith because I know what I heard. I know what God was telling me to do, and I did it. No matter what it looked like. When my mama and my other baby dad and her nana and all of them was like, getting, going through all of the stuff with them and all of that. And I'm like, dang, y'all making this transition much more harder for me when I'm already full of anxiety with moving to a place or I don't know nobody, with my 2 small children, just feeling alone. And that's what I be feeling in life, like, so that's what I just be feeling. I be feeling like I've had to figure out everything by myself. Everything has been me by myself. So I'm like, I don't get no credit, and I just be feeling like everything is harder for me. It's like I don't never get the easy way out. I don't never get no help. Like, obviously God is helping me and everything, but I'm like, no human help. Like, I don't have nobody that I can just call on. I don't got nobody just give me the game. Like, I've had to do the work. And even within this lane that I'm in, like, everything I know about spirituality is through God dropping it on me. Like, they be getting on my nerves with these cars around here. But it's like everything that I know is all through me and God. Like, I don't have no human that I can count on and rely on, and just to know that they got me and to help guide me and lead me. Everything up to now, it's just been like me figuring it out by myself. Me moving away here by myself. It's just always me doing everything by myself for myself. I don't never have nobody that be like, here's a tip on this. Here's how to do this. Like, nobody ever teach me the how. Everything I know how to do and know to do, I had to figure it out by myself. I've always had to figure things out by myself, for myself, and obviously with the help of God, because God is definitely the one leading the way. But it's still, even like within this lane, it's like everything is on me. It's on me to learn all this stuff by myself. Like, it's on me to do everything. And I'm like, it just be a lot for me sometimes. And I be like, dang, when am I gonna get my big break? Like, when am I gonna get my big break? When is all my hard work finally gonna pay off? When is my dedication? When is my sacrifices gonna pay off? I know it will pay off one day. Today just ain't the day. But in the grand scheme of things, and what I'm also to understanding is, like, appreciate the small steps that you're making, because it's not all just about the grand finale of everything and your debut and everything is just glitz and glamour. No, I appreciate your small wins. Appreciate the small wins, because when I do look back on my year, I'm like, okay, we got some wins. We got a lot of wins. It's not the grand things that I'm looking for, but I see the small wins that I have gained this year. And I think oftentimes that stuff go unnoticed because it's not the full promise that was, given to us. It's not the full in the grand scheme of things, it's not the full picture, that we envision and that we ask for and everything. So sometimes we'll take it for granted, which is why we do still have to have gratitude for the things that we have accomplished and that we have achieved, and the lessons that we have learned through the journey of being in the wilderness, of going without. What did you learn during that season? So make sure you guys get your gratitude e-journals, so that way you can be practicing the art of gratitude and realizing that even though you might not have everything that you desire, it's going to help you realize, like, I do have some things, and make you appreciate what you do have. And when you do practice that gratitude, God will add to your plate. He will add more to you when he see that you're grateful for the little. So sometimes I do have to humble myself. I'll be like, I'm still allowed to feel a way about not having this, but I do in the same breath be like, well, I am appreciative of this. Like, I'm grateful for having a place to lay my head at, because for a long time, this was my promise. When I was in that shelter, my prayer was to just have a place that we can call home, have somewhere we could come home to. So even when I be mad and crying about this other stuff, I still remember, look, you crying in the home that you was praying for. You have your room again where you can close your kids out and get some solitude and all of that. So you got to think about the other stuff that you pray for that you now have, and just appreciate the journey. Appreciate the journey. And that's what one of the videos I was watching with 50 Cent one time, it was the Motivation You Like video, and he said appreciate the journey. Like, he looked back, and because he's there now. He done made it now. Everything is, on a success level. Everything has panned out for him, but it was fun on the journey. And at the time, it seemed like, oh, struggling and all of this. But you do look back on stuff and be like, remember we was doing this, and remember I was doing that, and remember this, remember that. So you do, look back and remember, be like, you be appreciative for them times when you ain't have much and when you was doing this, and you're gonna look back on those times, because even now, me and my daughter do that. We be like, remember last year when we was doing this, and remember this, and remember that, and when we was just, we were still having fun. We were still making the best out of our situation, even though we didn't have the grand of things. Like, we were still making the best of our situation. So now we look back on it and be like, oh, I remember that. We look at the pictures, we remember what we were doing and where we were at and how we felt, and we still made the best out of it. Like, we made the best out of our situation. When we was living in that motel, and when the power went out at the motel, and we just went to the mall and just was up at the mall trying on clothes and just making the best out of us having no money, living in a motel, a rundown motel at that, waiting to get placed in a shelter. Like, and then we still do think back on before when we did have much, and it was times when we could go to Walmart and she could get whatever she wanted. Every time we go to Walmart, you getting a toy. I can get whatever I wanted. I can eat here and eat there whenever I wanted. So, I do be grateful for those times, and for the good and the bad. And one thing about it is, we ain't gonna go without suffering, whether you doing good or doing bad. When you're doing bad, of course, that's karma you're receiving. But sometimes, even when you just doing good and you feel like you innocent, and you feel like you're a righteous person, and overall you do right. You do right even when nobody looking. You feel like, well, I do what's good. I do the right thing even when nobody looking. So why am I suffering? I'm kind to people. I treat people with respect until they get the plan. I don't just off the rim just be mean and nasty to people. I'm not like that. Even with, ex-partners, like, I'm not just mean to you out of nowhere and just for nothing. Like, so why am I going through this stuff? Like, but we're all gonna have suffering. It don't matter, good or evil, you're gonna have suffering, and you just gotta stay the course. You gotta just stay the course no matter what's going on in your life. Keep your faith in God. Keep your faith. Don't lose your faith, because that's what the enemy wants you to do. He wants you to lose your faith. He wants you to stop praying. He wants you to stop believing in God. He wants you to turn back to wicked ways. He wants you to lose. He wants you to go backwards. He wants you to go back. Don't look back and don't go back. Don't be like Lot's wife and turn to a pillar of salt because you look back and you went back and you want to go back to what God brought you out of, a place of bondage that he brought you out of, because it seemed like it was better because you had these things, or because you wasn't so alone, and because you had this little stuff. Don't look back. So I'm gonna leave this video here, you guys, because I'm about to do the Bible study video. After this, I'm getting ready to go get something to eat, and then, tend to this little baby that just woke up. And then I'm gonna do the Bible study video, because I actually want to finish reading Job. I didn't finish reading all of it, but I want to finish reading it, so we can do the Bible study and like go in depth about everything, so we can see his feelings. Because y'all know when I do my Bible study videos, I like for us to, go over. We're not gonna read everything verbatim, but I got like an outline. We just gonna go over it, and then we're gonna read certain like scriptures about some of his feelings that he was feeling, some of the things the friends were saying, and the things that God was saying. So we just gonna go over some of the stuff, so we can just get a whole bigger picture about it, because it's definitely one of the greatest books of the Bible. It's definitely one of the greatest books, because we all go through this. We all go through suffering. And a lot of times, especially when you going on this spiritual journey, and when God is moving you away, you're going to lose a lot. And sometimes even, when everything was good, you lose stuff, and you be like, what the heck? Family members dying, losing a job, losing my car, everything is happening like at once. It's like, what did I do? What did I do? I be chilling to myself, minding my business, focus on my goals, my dreams, my aspirations, and taking care of my children. Like, what did I do to deserve this? I don't go bothering nobody. Yet this is what's going on in my life, you know? Um, so it definitely brings a lot of insight, and it made me feel better. And knowing this video just made me feel better too, because it's just like nobody's exempt. Nobody's exempt, and there's purpose in it. God is testing you. You know, it's different reasons, because some people, it's just a test to test your loyalty, to test your faith. Some people, you're going through stuff to learn a lesson. To learn a lesson. It's things that you need to learn. You know, so it's different for different people, but this particular video is about testing your faith, because that's what that was about. Job's testing was about his faith. Are you still going to hold on to the faith that you have in me? Are you still going to believe in me? Are you still going to love me? Are you still going to cherish me? Are you still going to do all those things even when I take everything away from you? Because a lot of people do only appreciate God when good things are happening. But when bad things are starting to happen, they curse him. You know, we all have done it. I don't really curse him in a sense, but I get mad at him, like what is going on? Like, you know. So that's it for this video, you guys. I hope y'all got something from this. We're gonna do the Bible study in the next video, so that'll probably go up tomorrow. Yeah, I'll probably post the Bible study video tomorrow for us to chop it up about the book of Job, so we can get some insight and some revelation and go on the walk with Job as he went through his season of success, lack, and then double the success at the end. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Deuces.